What's going on, everyone? My name is Hankeshh, and welcome back to the Raw Roundup, where we talk about this most recent episode of Raw and things that we liked, we didn't like, just shoot the shit about professional wrestling, you know what I mean? And yes, I'm aware I'm wearing the same exact hoodie that I was last week on the Raw Roundup. Don't worry, I'm not a bum. I did my laundry, all right? I'm not a gross animal like that, all right? I do laundry. I'm sanitary, okay? Anyways, before we get into the topic of the show, I want to remind you guys to hit the like button and subscribe, and also leave a comment down below on what you guys liked about Raw or the things you didn't like about Raw. I love reading you guys' comments. I love interacting with the community, so please do leave a comment. And be sure to go follow my TikTok page at Hankeshh. Over there we post a lot more content, some short form content, some skits, stuff like that, so please go check that out. And also, I'm pretty sure the TikTok algorithm is a little bit messed up right now, but I'd really appreciate if you guys went over there, followed, liked my posts, and drive up some engagement so it shows up on people's feeds. All right, plugs over. Let's get into the show. Let's just start with the main event segment. All right, AJ Styles versus CM Punk for the World Heavyweight Championship. We got a championship match with absolutely zero build on this show, and it was amazing. Coming off the back of an amazing performance at Saturday night's main event, AJ Styles went into the ring, stood toe-to-toe with the best in the world, CM Punk, and put on an absolute barn burner of a match. But as we were entering the closing segments of the match and things were really starting to pick up, Finn Balor comes in, interferes, costs AJ his chance at the championship, attacks CM Punk. So essentially, for this main event match, there were two storylines playing out here. One with Finn Balor and his dilemma of, do I go with the Judgment Day? Do I stay heel with the Judgment Day? All this stuff. Or do I turn babyface, leave the Judgment Day, and, earn my spot at the Royal Rumble and become a face again? Just like what CM Punk told him to do at the beginning of the show. And ultimately, his decision was he stuck with the Judgment Day because earlier on in the day, he asked Adam Pearce for a spot at the Royal Rumble, and he's like, dude, we're less than a week away from the Rumble. All the spots are full. I don't got one for you. And so Finn Balor chose the path of violence. Now, I do think eventually Finn is gonna turn babyface. I think this is just like a long-term way of telling that story. Because obviously Finn on our screen has been a bad guy for the better part of almost 4 years now, I think, right? What was it, 2022, 2023 he turned during the Judgment Day? So just kind of turning him babyface, just like a willy-nilly way, it wasn't gonna cut it. I think you need some kind of a storyline where Finn really starts to resent the Judgment Day. And I think this is what we're gonna get, and eventually it's gonna lead to a blow-off match with Dom at Mania for the IC belt, assuming that Dom is going to be healthy for Mania, because I'm assuming he's going to be good for Mania. I mean, if he has a chance to wrestle at Mania, I don't think Dom is the type of guy to just phone it in. He'll go and have a match. So yeah, I think this just kicks off things for Finn Balor. I think 2026 is going to be a great year for Finn Balor. Just the way the last 2 weeks have played out for him, I could see big things coming for Finn Balor. So keep your eye out for Finn Balor this year. And then the second story being told in the main event was all about AJ Styles. Most people are assuming his career is coming to an end at the Royal Rumble against Gunther. And if you asked me 24 hours ago, I would say, yeah, 100%. Gunther is going over. He's going to retire AJ. AJ's going to be done. Either he's going to stop wrestling, or I was predicting he might go to TNA and have a short run. But after this episode of Raw, I'm kind of second guessing myself. Because in this episode of Raw, they were teasing like matches that AJ could have in the future. You know what I mean? He had a backstage segment with Javon Evans. Michael Cole on commentary was mentioning names that AJ wanted to face during his quote-unquote retirement tour. So I don't know, after all these teases, especially after that Javon Evans segment, I don't think AJ is going to be done yet. Why would they tease a match just to not give it to us? But then again, it is WWE. I feel like that's something they do a lot of the time. But even though I am doubting the fact that AJ might not retire at Rumble, I'm going to go into the Rumble assuming that he will retire, just so I have that closure. Because if I go into the Rumble thinking he's not going to retire, I'm going to be very, very disappointed. I'm going to be like those fans that booed Triple H at Cena's retirement. We have 5 days probably after you're watching this video of AJ Styles left, and I'm not ready for it, man. All right, let's move on. Let's move on before I start crying. Another big thing that happened on this show has to do with the Vision. Last week, Adam Pearce told Paul Heyman to bring the Vision and especially bring Braun Breaker. They could have a face-to-face, talk things out and whatnot. And this week, it culminated in that face-to-face, and it resulted in Adam Pearce not only lifting the suspension on Braun Breaker, but putting him in the Rumble. In fact, not only did he put Braun Breaker in the Rumble, but he also put Logan Paul, Bronson Reed, and Austin Theory. The rest of the Vision are also in the Royal Rumble. So I have a feeling that in the Royal Rumble match is just going to be a lot of the Vision running shit, at least for a good majority of the match. Not majority, but like a good portion of the match will be just the Vision running shit. I'm pretty sure all four will be in at the same time. But after the segment of Adam Pearce, you know, lifting the suspension, putting him in the Rumble and whatnot, he announced that Austin Theory is going to have a redemption match against Rey Mysterio because of the whole brass knuck situation that happened last week. And Austin Theory ended up getting the dub because of the Vision shenanigans. And Adam Pearce's hands are tied. He cannot do anything about it. And I think that's the story that they're going to be telling on Raw, at least, you know, for the foreseeable future. It's going to be a feud between the Vision and the general manager of Monday Night Raw. I'm totally down for it. Like I said, I love the chemistry between Paul Heyman and Adam Pearce. Their segments are always so fun to watch. But I guess in this storyline, Paul Heyman used his slimy tactics to get in the ear of the higher-ups, I guess, and basically force Adam Pearce's hands to be tied whenever the Vision want to just do shit. Going back to the point of the Vision being in the Rumble, they also had a short backstage segment kind of discussing their plan. What's the plan? Which one of us is going to be the winner of the Rumble? And Logan Paul had this big grand speech to eventually say, we're going to make Braun Breaker the winner of the Rumble. You know, it's Logan Paul. He's a heel character. I got a feeling that maybe Logan Paul is going to turn on the Vision. I'm not ready for it. Like, I don't know who would want that. I don't know who would want to see a Logan Paul versus Braun Breaker WrestleMania match. I would love to see the match, just not at WrestleMania. I think WrestleMania, you need to give something else for Braun Breaker. That part kind of confused me a little bit. Maybe it's just to hype up Braun Breaker a little bit. Maybe I'm just looking too much into that segment. So the whole Royal Rumble aspect of the Vision, I could care less about. But the stuff with Adam Pearce is amazing. I love it. Continue that, because that's my light just died. I you know, you guys saw that. Give me a second. Okay, so my light is dead, and now my face is gonna be dark for the rest of the video. Unfortunately, I forgot to charge my light. Sorry. This is what happens when you record at fucking 2:30 a.m. in the morning, bro. All right, let's move over to the women's side of things. This episode, we had a women's tag team match. Actually, a 6-woman tag team match. It was between Rio and Stephanie Vaquer versus the Judgment Day gals. When I just say those 6 names of women, obviously the match is gonna be great. Excellent. And it was a very good match. But to be honest, the only story that it really progressed was Stephanie versus Raquel. Like, we already saw Rhea and Io go against the Judgment Day on Saturday night's main event. So them being in the picture again was just kind of filler, in my opinion. I don't know, this whole match just seemed a little bit filler. The only reason I say it's not filler is because out of this match, we finally got a date for Raquel versus Stephanie Vaquer. We're gonna get it next week on Raw. I'm super pumped for that. Finally, they've had this feud going for what, a month now, and no match. So I'm glad they finally announced a match between these two. But yeah, not much to go too in depth into. You know, it's a good first match for the show. It really set the tone for the matches that we're gonna get on this show. What more can I say? Rhea and Io don't really have any more business on Raw right now. Their next opponents are from SmackDown, so I'm expecting them to be on this next episode of SmackDown, but you know, we'll see on Friday. We also had a #1 Contenders Fatal 4-Way Tag Team match for the World Tag Team Championships. God, that was a mouthful to say. That was hard to say. Now, they announced it last week. They said, oh, the New Day is going to get a chance at a #1 contendership match. I'm like, oh, okay. You know, the New Day will be #1 contenders. I wonder who they're going to face. There's not many teams on SmackDown. Sorry, not SmackDown, Raw. But then when I tuned into the show today, the graphic they showed at the beginning of the show was Alpha Academy, Los Americanos, New Day, and the Creed Brothers. It goes to show just the massive hole there is in the talent for the tag team division. So initially when I saw that, I was clowning it. I was like, this match is just going to be a filler match for the New Day to win and get another shot at the titles. But to my surprise, I actually ended up loving this match. I had a blast watching this match. I love tag team wrestling. It's my favorite type of wrestling. So seeing a fatal 4-way match of it, you know, I knew it was going to be good, but I did not expect to have this much fun in it. I also didn't expect Alpha Academy to be the ones to win this match. Not only that, I was definitely not expecting Akira Tozawa to look as good as he did. When he started going super crazy and just attacking all 3 of the other people, I was like, oh, okay, the funny man is doing funny moves, but it's effective. Let's go. And then I thought he was just going to get crushed by the next person that came into the ring. But then he just kept going and beating them up and looking impressive. He was pulling out moves that I have not seen Akira Tozawa pull in years. And at the end, he hits a senton bomb to pin, I forgot who he he pinned, to be honest, but he pinned the person and he won the match in Alpha Academy #1 contenders. And this made me want to see the Usos versus Alpha Academy so much. I feel like I've forgotten that Akira Tozawa can be a good wrestler. He's signed to the WWE. Obviously, he has some kind of wrestling skill. I think he's just been pigeonholed into being this comedy character for so long. People just assume he's bad at wrestling. Me included. I'm people, all right? I'm not letting myself off the hook here. I thought Akira Tozawa had no wrestling ability. Now, is it the most technical, most in-depth? No, but it was fun. He was really holding his own. I think more than just holding his own. So yeah, great, fantastic match. It's the right blend of comedy and technicality. Something in my heart wants to give this Fatal 4-Way match of the night. I don't know, man. I think if AJ and Punk had a actual ending, like a clean ending, that would definitely be match of the night. I don't know. I kind of want to get, fuck it. You know what? This is my video. Why am I like trying to justify it? No, this is match of the night for me, bro. This match is match of the night. I don't care what anybody says. And also shout out Otis, man. You're putting big boys on the map. I appreciate you. I love you, bro. I think that pretty much sums up the biggest stuff that happened. Obviously, we had a few like backstage promos and segments and stuff like that. We had a little bit of a confrontation between Becky Lynch, Asuka, Kairi Sane, kind of more just Royal Rumble hype. They teased that there's going to be a squabble between Asuka and Becky in the Rumble, which 100% I'm down for, bro. Those two are some of the greatest women's wrestlers of all time. So yes, sign me up, sign my name, please. Yeah, but just overall just building more hype for the Rumble. There was also a Natty Neidhart promo or vignette, backstage film promo, I guess, kind of putting Maxine on notice, but also putting Becky Lynch on notice, saying like, hey, once I'm done with Maxine, I'm coming for your Intercontinental Championship. She dropped the word legend quite a few times in there, so I mean, we're getting the low-key legend Natty Neidhart. She even put a distinction between Natalya and Natty, so yeah, we're getting Natty Neidhart on the main roster. So hyped for it. Actually, earlier today, I just saw a clip of Becky Lynch from an interview. She was saying that Natalya was one of the best technical wrestlers she ever get to work with in ring. So I think we're finally gonna see that version of Natalya on the main roster. I'm so down for it. 2026 could be a big year for Natalya. There was also a sit-down interview with Gunther and Michael Cole, just again kind of promoting the AJ Styles retirement match and whatnot. Also kind of giving a little bit of context to Gunther's character, why he's going after the old legends, the old guard. He's kind of saying that, oh, he's tired of these old people kind of overstaying their welcome and just trying to take the moments from, you know, other people. Actually, not other people, him, like himself. Like he's saying like, oh, why are these people taking my moments? So he wants to get rid of all of them. He got rid of Goldberg, he got rid of John Cena, and now he's going to get rid of AJ Styles. I think that pretty much covers everything I want to talk about, though. But yeah, other than that's my thoughts on this episode of Raw. Let me know what you guys thought in the comments below. Let me know what I missed. Let me know what you guys thought. I'm gonna be on a content grind this week because Royal Rumble is coming up, so expect videos maybe like every day. If not, like maybe I'll miss a day or two. But yeah, other than that, SmackDown review coming later this week. Royal Rumble predictions coming later this week. Video grind is gonna be real this week. So all right, I've yapped too much. You guys go enjoy the rest of your day or night whenever you're watching this, and I'll see you guys in the next video. All right, take care. Bye.